Welcome back, football fans. How the hell are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for you while you're watching this. Today, we're going to be checking out something that comes from the comments down below. Go ahead and check him out right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mako. GER. I'm assuming that's Germany. Representing for Germany. Let's go. We're going to watch the fans who literally built their club, Union Berlin. I really want to check this out. I think from what I was understanding, what you guys are telling me in the comments, that these guys actually raised the money and had their stadium built and stuff like that. So let me know. If you guys like this content, go ahead, hit that like button. If you want to follow me on my journey, watching everything about football, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Come along with me. Would love to have you. Well, let's jump into this and see what they are talking about. Union Berlin, what do you have for us?
Last week, I was in Hamburg, finding out about the amazing...
Oh yeah, this is Copa 90. If you guys don't already watch their content, make sure you go follow them, give them a like on this video. It's like 10 years old, but I think it's a very important video talking about the fans and how they're interlinked with the clubs and what they do for the clubs. So I'm really excited to see this. But Copa 90 is one of my favorite content to watch, and I try to put it as much as I can when I do watch stuff on this channel as well. So make sure you go hit subscribe to them.
relationship between FC St Pauli and its fans.
Wait. FC St Pauli and its fan. What's Union Berlin then? I guess we'll find out.
A lot of clubs, you have great atmosphere, but the St Pauli atmosphere, I would say, is very special.
The identity of St Pauli is shaped integrally by the supporters.
Now, St Pauli are famous all around the world for being a club with a difference, but just 250 miles east in Berlin, there's something equally special going on with an equally impressive fan base and another truly unique football story. This is FC Union Berlin.
All right, FC Union Berlin. All right, that makes sense. I was like, why are they talking about St. Pauli? I wonder if this is going to get me blocked. Hope not. Hey, let's go.
We're a very fan-based club with a very
Fans
tight
department
relationship
chairman.
between the fans and the club and the players, and I think this is something that makes Union actually.
When we sing unser Verein, our club in there, we mean it, it is our club.
Union Berlin, denke ich, hat besondere Fans, die besonders fanatisch sind, die besonders zu ihrem Verein stehen.
Everybody here has a heart for the club. He lives the club. He lives the club in every moment.
It's what they always describe as kind of a family thing. I think that's true. It feels like that for me.
At Copa 90, we always try and start with the fans' perspective, but this club really is different. So we're starting at the top with the president. Dirk Zingler is not your average club president. He's a rabid Union fan, and he runs the club in exactly the way you'd expect from a supporter.
Dirk Zingler, he's the president of the club. He comes from the terraces as well.
You can see him walking around the stadium and talking to you and me. So I think that's part of keeping it to the fans, that he is just like among the fans actually.
We know that
He is a fan.
He feels the same like we feel, that the real fan feels during the game.
When the club was really down in 2004, he is a pretty successful businessman, and he stepped in, and then he was elected president. It was really like the transition from a fan over like a sponsor to the president within a couple of months, basically.
He runs the management, top management, in a very collegiate fashion, bringing players in. He signs the check, but they have a group of about 4 of the middle managers who all say, tick, 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 this person's good for the club. Even the head of media has to say, yes. Zingler has said in the past, I don't even have to know anything about this player. If all my 4 lieutenants say he's the right man for Union, I sign the check.
Bleed for Union. What's that about?
Beat for Union. that was exactly the time when Mr. Zingler was elected president, or was a year later. Union was totally broke, and we were close to being cut off from any like professional football whatsoever.
In Germany, if you donate blood, you get money for it. Many Unioners went to the, is it called blood bank?
Yeah, blood bank.
And donated blood, received the money and transferred it to the
How
club.
many pints are we talking of blood here?
Wow.
I don't know, it's too long ago.
They literally gave their blood to the club. That is crazy.
Of course, this idea of bleeding for Union,
Yeah.
this is so heartwarming,
Yeah.
and as a slogan, as a catchphrase, it stood, and we finally succeeded.
That is cool.
I've seen a lot of badges, flags, banners and tattoos which profess to show fans' love of their club, but can there be a better metaphor for how strong the bonds between supporters and team can be than literally bleeding for the cause? It really shows the power of boards and officials who understand fans and can make the club be what they all want it to be. One striking example of Union taking a fan-centered stance on wider issues came in 2012 when the German authorities tried to introduce new regulations around stadium going. At a meeting of the top 36 clubs in the country, Union were the only ones to vote against the measures, as they felt that they shouldn't do anything without consulting the fans.
Too many things were wrong about it, and we said, no, sorry, we can't agree with that. If we discuss it under this topic, everyone's a potential criminal. You can try to find new regulations, but if you don't talk to the people you want to address, how do you think you can reach them? That was our point of view.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There was a very special date, a very special meeting of all the clubs in Frankfurt to sign this regulation collection, you know? All the presidents of the clubs signed it. There was just one signature missing. Okay. That was ours.
As well as being brilliantly democratic and fan-led, Union's stance on protecting the stadium experience is also completely unsurprising when you think about how they came to have their stadium in the first place.
In 2008, the stadium here was just with 3 sides of terracing with no roof over it, weeds coming up through the crumbling concrete, and a little tiny stand that held about 2,000.
We had to renovate or to refurbish the stadium, otherwise we wouldn't have been allowed to play there anymore.
We had the chance to ask the people to say, what would you like? So once it was clear that everyone wanted to keep these standing terraces, not such a difficult way to develop a kind of construction to make it possible to do that with just people like you and me.
And on the first day, it was 1st of July 2008, there were like 200 guys in the morning, at 7 in the morning. People like you and me, people with experience on construction sites, people without any experience like me, and they were there, we know, like with their shovels, and they said, we want to do it.
It was just amazing to see this grow under your own hands. It was 2,500 people
literally built the stadium.
140,000 hours of work just to keep their stadium here.
And of course, this adds to this legend. It's our thing, you know, it's our club, it's our stadium. I built it, and I built it too.
Not only just giving money, but their time, their blood, their sweat. How cool is that?
So not only did the Union fans build the stadium themselves, they now own it too, which means they can have it exactly the way they want it.
In Germany, we are living like in paradise.
Is that the 50
We are
plus
very
one?
proud to have so many standing places. 80%. Wir singen, wir springen, wir tanzen,
We sing, we
wir
jump, we dance, we
schreien.
scream.
Das geht viel besser im Stehen.
It was a sellout. It was a sellout 4 or 5 days ago, 22,000.
Sowas ist sehr, sehr besonders, wenn die eigenen Fans das Stadion mit aufziehen, mit bauen. Das ist aber einfach Union. Union zeigt sowas, weil Union in jeder Lage zu diesem Verein steht.
It's unique. It is, they say, it is the most beautiful stadium in the world.
Wow. That is cool. Union! Damn. What is their mascot? It's like a knight? Yeah, it's a knight.
So, as you can see, it's the day after the game, and just as we were told, it all played out like we were expecting. The whole stadium, or at least the vast majority, was standing, cheering, chanting, just enjoying so much more than a football match. And as much as I enjoyed it, all I've been thinking up until this point is just How come we can't have that across Europe and especially England? And so what I'd like to get out of the rest of my time here in Germany is, some understanding, some tips, anything from people who are involved in the success of German league football, so that we can, turn the tide across Europe and especially in England to enjoy the game the way Germany gets to.
The biggest difference between Union Berlin and an English club is that it's member-owned, member-controlled. I'm a member, so Union Berlin is me and 12,000 other people. Even Bayern Munich, it's still a members club. Even Borussia Dortmund, it's still a members club. And they've been allowed to spin off the professional football divisions into a limited company, but under the 50+1 rule, that limited company must still be controlled, not owned necessarily, but still controlled by the members, as to 50% of the votes plus one vote.
They can indirectly vote the president, and they can more or less directly, chop him off as well. So if you did something that they wouldn't fancy at all, they could chop him off. The deal is the club has to do what I say, because I'm a club member as well. That's why there are quite some ways we can revolt against, unpopular decisions.
You've got a voice and you've got a direct communication with the president as fans. You can constantly talk to and have a proper. Can we get that in England? Is that possible, or is it just too late?
If you wanted to get that, you would have to really turn things around from the basis.
You can't take an existing Premier League club and turn it into a members club. But yeah, you can start from scratch, if you have the patience, and have a Phoenix club, and then work your way up. And yeah, more power to their elbows at FC United and AFC.
Yeah, that would take forever. That's a really cool concept, though.
What's become apparent to me is that this incredible culture that German football fans are currently enjoying hasn't come quickly. It's come because they've set principles and organisational structures from their foundations, they've fought for them and they've held on to them until now and long into the future. And whilst this might seem out of reach for fans of clubs from Europe and of course England, one subject that keeps coming up in speaking to German football fans is the story of fan-owned clubs like FC United of Manchester, where football fans here have told us that they're on the way to enjoying football the way they get to here. And whilst no, it might not be the same as having your Premier League team instantly turn into something like Union Berlin, I can guarantee you that the way you get to contribute to your club, mould its principles and celebrate the team is far more valuable than any on-pitch success. I strongly encourage everyone to get out here and see how great football can be when fans have a proper say in the running of their football club.
That is actually really cool. I would love to see that actually come to fruition in a lot more clubs. That would be really cool. Really hard to do. I mean, everybody, the owners right now aren't going to give up control and say in their club. But, dude, so I learned a lot here. I've seen a lot of people talk about the 50+1 in the comments, stuff like that. Kind of understood what it was, but this explained it a lot more. And that was really cool. So I'm going to watch more content like this. If you guys have anything else you want me to react to, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. And I appreciate you guys. If you like this, also, YouTube thinks you'll like one of these videos over here. Check those out. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.